Yo, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. First things first, the channel is growing, but a lot of you guys still aren't hitting that sub button, man. You guys are watching the videos, you're not liking, you're not subbing, but you're watching. If you like the content, man, go ahead and hit the sub button now. Go ahead and hit the like button now. Drop a comment as well. Matter of fact, I give you 5 seconds. All right, I gave you 3. All right. But going into the video today, we're going to start this out with Regan Grimes, man, who honestly looks amazing. I was hoping that he was able to put on some extra size this offseason, but we're still about 6 or 7 weeks out of the Mr. Olympia, and Regan is still going to have to shed off some more of this size, so he's going to be a little smaller on stage, I assume. He's not in stage condition yet, so he probably still has to drop about 10 to 20 pounds. And hopefully he's able to come in and place higher than 15 this year. His shape is amazing, and he has amazing roundness and a very small waist for a white guy, which isn't racist, but black guys tend to usually have the better shape, and the white guys are usually able to get a little more dry. James Hollingshead likes to call it Caucasian dry. But I'm looking forward to see what Regan is able to bring this year, man. His physique looks amazing. And he has everything that he needs as far as body part wise. Only thing he has to do is just add more size. So at this Olympia, we're going to see where Regan Grimes stands as far as with the top bodybuilders in the world right now. And speaking of James Hollingshead, he just posted a recent physique update. And I've been meaning to get James up on the channel because I haven't yet. But I haven't seen him stand next to some of these top guys yet, man. So I honestly don't know how to rank him or where to position him. But he does look great. His legs look amazing. His legs actually look a little bigger than his upper body from the side. But James has pretty good side shots, I would assume. And here you can see him on the Smith machine moving about 6 plates, I believe, for some pretty deep reps, man. And James just showing people that you can build leg mass and can have great legs while using the Smith machine. I know a lot of people tend to knock Ian Valliere for using the Smith machine and say he's doing sissy squats, but I mean, if you're moving weight, you're moving weight, man. And there's some incredible depth. If you guys have ever seen Dallas McCarver train before, he used to squat like 10 plates for this same amount of depth. So it's crazy. But I'm very excited to see what James is going to bring to the Olympia this year and to see where he stands up against these top guys, man. James is a very hard worker, and I just want to see what he's able to bring to the stage. And then our next update is a pretty simple one, just kind of a side ab shot of Nick Walker. And something interesting, I was watching a couple videos earlier, and I've heard people state someone compared Nick's midsection to Phil Heath's later in his career, which is honestly completely disrespectful to Nick Walker because Phil Heath has had a hernia surgery and has 6 inches of mesh in his midsection. And that's a big reason why I made my channel, is because I don't agree with a lot of these opinions that gets thrown out around about these athletes. And I think the athletes deserve a lot more credit. Sometimes they deserve less credit, just being completely honest with you. So I'm just here to bring the truth in bodybuilding and what I see. So Nick, compared to Phil, he's midsection, not even close. Nick has an amazing abs and thighs, man, that has completely deep and separated abs. So, and I also heard people talk about Nick's midsection in the transitions, which I haven't really seen him lose his midsection in the transitions at all. I think people just have to try to find a knock on Nick because he's so confident, man. So Nick is coming for the Arnold and he's coming for the Olympia this year. I'm not saying he'll win them, but he's definitely coming for both. And then our next update, we get to take a look at Sergio Oliva Jr. And he's training with Dennis James. And the caption of this actually said, "I see why they call him the Menace." I don't know if you guys can see it, but Sergio is only moving around about, I think it's about 265 pounds. And he's actually getting a lot of work in with some lighter weights. And you guys remember Dennis James was working with Big Ramy last year and also was doing lower weights, high reps. And Dave Palumbo stated that they were in panic mode and didn't think that Big Ramy was going to come in ready. So it's great to see Dennis James working with Sergio, man, and especially with what Dennis was able to do with Ramy last year. He's really kind of stepped himself up. It's like, basically, if you want to have a pair of coaches right now, it would be Dennis James and Chad Nichols, just based off what they were able to do with Big Ramy. Now, there's not 100% saying that you're going to be Big Ramy because you have these guys as your coaches, but you know that you're in very great hands with these two guys. And I'm excited to see what Sergio is able to bring to the Arnold Classic stage. Sergio hasn't reached his full potential yet, and he hasn't competed in a bit. So I'm excited to see what he's able to do And of course, everyone has big hopes of Sergio because his father, Sergio Oliva Sr., was a Mr. Olympia. And some people say Sergio is overrated and kind of only has as much rank because of his father's name. But we're gonna see what Sergio is able to do at the Arnold Classic. I've heard a lot of people say they believe Sergio can win, and people have also said that maybe politics play into his son because people would love to see Sergio at the Arnold. Me personally, I don't think politics is gonna play into the Arnold Classic too much, but I could see Sergio winning the Arnold. I don't have him winning the Arnold just off the top of my head, but it's very possible he could win the Arnold. And then our next update, we get another update from Chris Bumstead. And Chris has been dropping a lot of updates recently. I'm not sure if this is because he's training in Florida at the Revive Gym or if he's been hearing the talks of Robert Timms. He's seen Logan Franklin, Steve Lawyers, and a lot of these guys competing recently. And he just probably wants to remind these guys that he is the champ. And, just he wants to put a little something in the back of their head just so they can remember him and maybe have them train even harder because I know Chris wants everyone to show up at 100%. Me personally, I doubt anyone can beat Chris. I've heard a lot of people talk about Robert Timms, and I think I mentioned this in the last video. He's very good, and he can stand with him, but I don't think he'll be able to beat Chris Bumstead yet. But Chris is training with Ian Vier here. He's also working with Nick Walker as well as Matt Jensen down there. So hopefully Chris is able to bring something special this year and capture his third title. And next, we're going to switch over and talk about Bryan Ashley for a second, who posted 2 recent physique updates. And Bryan looks great, man, as usual. Bryan is a guy that is usually ready a couple of weeks before the show, maybe 1 to 2. But within recent years, Bryan has been struggling to stay within the weight cap for classic physique. So he's been getting ready even earlier. But I'm just hoping that Bryan getting ready earlier doesn't lead to his body looking tired or flat, which I have mentioned before. He looks pretty shredded here at about 7 weeks out, and last week he was eating 1,700 calories, which is pretty low. But if that's what it takes to beat the champ, then I'm pretty sure Bryan's down to do it. And he makes it look easy, and he always does it with a smile. So excited to see what Bryan can bring, and hopefully he doesn't have to drop too much muscle this year. All right, and in our last story of the day, we have a physique update from 212 competitor Ahmed ElSadani. I believe is how you say his name. He won the Texas Pro, and he placed a very close second to Keon Pearson at the Chicago Pro. So if you guys are looking at Keon Pearson and the Olympia, I feel like you have to look at Ahmed ElSadani because he placed very close second to Keon and could have arguably beat Keon and brought better conditioning. But as Ahmed has competed, I noticed that Chicago was actually probably his best showing. And Texas, the show that he won, was probably his worst showing of the year, but it was just a lighter lineup. It's not a knock on him, but just an analyzation. So hopefully he's able to reel it in these last couple of weeks and come into the Olympia very sharp. So that's going to be the video for today, you guys. If you guys want to see anything else on the channel, any comments, concerns, anything you want to say, drop it in the comment section. But before you go, make sure you hit that like button and make sure you drop a sub. If you watch this far, you know what to put in the comment section. I'm out.